Hey, what's going on guys? Derek here, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a guitar tutorial for the song Whiskeyed My Way by Morgan Wallen. This is personally one of my favorite songs from the Dangerous double album, and I saw that he posted an acoustic video of it with the Dangerous sessions a couple months ago, actually, November 4th. So my goal is to watch the video and kind of do like a live guitar tutorial and show you guys how to play it as close as possible to the way that he is playing it in this video. So yeah, I hope it helps you guys, and let's jump into the video. So that is the verse right there. What I can tell right away is that the song is actually in the key of D. And one thing you'll notice is there's this really low note. It's kind of like the trademark of the song. Right there. That note right there, that is a low D. So what that tells me is that the song is in the key of D, but it's also in drop D tuning. Now, I don't know if Morgan is actually in drop D. I don't think he is, based on some of the camera positions. Like, yeah, he's not playing there, but his guitars is for sure in drop D, and I think that's also the sound that you hear on the studio version on the record. So essentially, you just need to tune your guitar to drop D tuning to play it like the record and like his guitar player. So just take this low E string and match it to the third string. So if you're up here, lower it. And that's drop D. Yeah, and really it's very similar to standard tuning, but a few of your chord shapes will have to change just a little bit because of you moving this E down to a D. So the three chords that I've noticed so far are a D, a B minor, and I think they actually play it like this, which is what I consider like the easy way to play a B minor, an A, and then back to D. So it's really just three chords so far for the verse, and what makes this kind of stand out right away is the picking pattern that they use. So let me go back here real quick and just kind of there for a while, couldn't even fake a smile, even if the bad joke sounded good. Looking back now, how to be, and moving on. Yeah, okay. So yeah, basically, so you have D, B minor, and A. And the picking pattern that I think they're using for most of the song goes something like this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm starting out on this D chord, and I'm picking in my right hand, I'm going 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to this B minor shape, and I'm going 5, 4, 3. And then all I'm going to do is lift off my pointer finger on the second fret of the fifth string and do the exact same thing. And then back to the D. And one thing that actually simplifies this, I was actually kind of switching there, is if you set your fingers up so that you're playing a D like this. So I just have my middle finger on the third string of the second fret and my ring finger, my fourth finger, on the third fret of the second string. And It's still a D chord, but what makes this a little easier is the transition. When you transition from the D to the B minor and the A, all you'll have to do is move your pointer finger. So it looks kind of something like this, really slow. By setting your left hand up in this chord shape type of orientation, it makes it a lot easier because you only have to move that one finger. But you are playing 3 chords throughout that. That is almost the entire verse. In fact, I think it is the entire verse. You would repeat that, I think maybe, let's see. D, A, D. D minor, A, D. So same pattern this whole verse. So right there, moving on Hall of Fame, you stay on the D and just do a single strum and let it ring out. And then now you are into the chorus, which has a few additional chords, I think. It wasn't my buddies, it wasn't my mom, it wasn't no self-help to. It wasn't no records and it wasn't no whiskey my way over here. Dancing with some beer wouldn't do, so I whiskey my way over here. You saw me out. So Morgan is for sure not playing in drop D. I think he's just playing your typical like D, B minor, and A. You can do that, but one of the biggest things that stands out about this song is that low D in the picking pattern. So for example, if you just use the high D, you could do something like that, but it doesn't sound the same. It just doesn't sound as good to me. If you do have a backup guitarist, you can definitely get away with it. But if you're playing solo, I think you definitely want to have that drop D, that low D in the D chord to get that sound like the song. So in the chorus, you did have a few additional chords. You had a G, a B minor, and then you also had your D and A. So the G chord is interesting because since you are in drop D, you now have to play this a slightly different way. So instead of your G chord being like this, because you moved this low E string down to a D, you now have to bring your finger up from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret for a G chord in drop D. And so a drop D G chord looks something like that. And that's what they're playing here. And then you had your barred B minor, and those were the 2 additional chords in the chorus that were used. So the chord progression for the chorus goes from G to A to D to B minor, A, G, A, D, B minor, A. Tequila made me crazy. And this is where it changes up right here on the Tequila Made Me Crazy, because you go from G, and then instead of going to A, you go to B minor. Go beer wouldn't do. Back to G, so whiskey my way. G, A, O, U, D. I think. Let me check that one more time real quick. G, A, D, D minor, A, G, A, D, B minor, A, G, B minor, A, D. Yeah, so that is the chord progression for the chorus. In terms of a strumming pattern, I think what they're doing mostly is down strums. So you could go something like, so So what I'm doing there mostly is I'm going down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm doing a down up right before I change chords too. So it's down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. And that's almost the chord progression that I would probably do, or sorry, the strumming pattern I would do for most of the chorus. All together, it would sound something like this. Something like that. That wasn't perfect, but you kind of get the idea of, you know, it's mostly down strums, and really you just do a down up right before you transition to the next chord. What you could also do is you could do almost like a picking pattern similar to what you do in the verse. So you could go like, tequila made me crazy, cold beer wouldn't do, I whiskey my way over you. And then you're back into the picking pattern of the verse. That's gonna be a little more difficult. It would even take me some practice to like really get that down while singing too. So both ways it's gonna sound good. I'd probably do the strumming because it would give it a little more pace and volume in the chorus, so it would make the section stand out. It's just a taste thing really. Whatever you prefer, it's still gonna sound close to what they are doing here. So let's keep going. So same picking pattern here.
Is that kid's move 'cause you did what you do? Turn around and walk out again. Oh, it's the only thing been working.
So that part actually is interesting because in the first verse, they just did that single strum on the D. But this one, they actually continue and do the B minor. And they go B minor, A, and then right into the chorus, which is that G, which is where you're at now. A, D, B minor, A, G. Guitar solo here. All of that was actually the same chord progression as the chorus, so it's just G, A, D, B minor, A, G for the guitar solo.
Keep working.
Back to the verse pattern now.
Pour it on this hurting. It wasn't my buddy.
Back to the chorus. G, A, D, B minor, A, G, B minor, G, repeat it. Pretty D. So they actually just ended on that G there instead of going back to the D. The guitars. Yeah, so they ended on the G, and then the guitars at the end is kind of playing like this really, I don't even know what this is, like a D add 6 maybe? I'm not sure, but this is kind of what he's playing. It's a modified D chord, but they actually end just on that G chord without going back to the root chord, the D. To kind of quickly recap, in the verse you have a D chord, the B minor, the A, and then back to the D. And you have that picking pattern we went over, which sounds something like this. So you continue that for the verses in the song, and then in the chorus you can go to either a picking pattern or a strumming pattern, but the chord progression is a G, A, D, B minor, A, G, A, and you repeat that again. D, B minor, A, G, and this is where it changes. You wanna cut it, cold beer. There's no use. You go back to the B minor, then to G. Whiskey my G, A, where were you? Back to D, and that brings you back into the verse. And then the only other really change up you had was the guitar solo, which is the exact same chord progression as the chorus. And at the very end of the song, instead of ending on that G, they end on, or ending on the D, they end on the G. So yeah, guys, I hope that was helpful. I know for me, like when I was learning guitar, I always wanted to play the song like the artist. I would watch a video like this and I would try and pick it apart as best as I could, and watch every guitar tutorial possible for the song, but they all kind of varied in some ways. This is not, 100% exactly the way they're playing it here, but it is like 98%. It's very, very close. If you play it the way we went over it, you'll sound almost identical to this video, with the consideration that he also has, 2 other guitarists playing with him. So in terms of playing solo, you're gonna sound very, very close to the record and this video. So I hope it was helpful. If not, let me know any questions you have in the comment section below, and I will do my best to help you guys out. And let me know also what other songs you guys would like to see me teach on guitar as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.